Hey guys, recently some good news came out on the PUBG forums for the Xbox One and PS4 versions of the game. It looks like next Monday night, May 20th, the public test server, or PTS, will be getting an update. It's scheduled to go live on May 20th at 7 p.m. Pacific Time, which is 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the public test server, or PTS, it's a separate PUBG install, a separate PUBG server that is free for anyone who already owns a copy of the base install of the game. The test server is supposed to be used to test upcoming features, upcoming patches. We don't get to use it all that often on console. They use it a lot on PC. Pretty much every patch goes to the test server before it goes to the live servers. But a number of times on console, for whatever reason, they don't use the test server at all. They just go straight to live, and then we have these problems. So it's a good thing that we'll see it on the test servers first. Maybe we'll find a couple issues that they can iron out before this thing goes live the following week. If you already have it downloaded, it should just update automatically when this patch goes live. But if you've yet to download the PTS, all you have to do is search for PUBG Public Test Server or just PUBG Test Server, and you should see it there. It'll have a PUBG icon with PTS on the game cover, and that's how you'll know you're picking the right one and you're downloading that Public Test Server. However, if you haven't downloaded yet, I would just wait until it goes live so that you don't have to download the current version of it and then update it again once it goes live on May 20th. So what all is included with this PTS update, and what will be coming a week later to the live servers? Well, let's take a look. It's going to pretty much be exactly what I said in my What's Coming Next for PUBG video that I made a couple weeks back. But I'm going to go over all the details and assume you haven't seen that video, just so you know everything that's included with this PTS. There's a new Vikendi exclusive weapon called the MP5K. It's a brand new submachine gun chambered for 9mm ammunition. And like I said, it's exclusive to Vikendi, and it's actually going to replace the Vector on that map. Now you might think, the Vector, well that's a 45 ACP weapon. Why would it replace that? We'll get to that in a little bit. While the firing mechanics of the MP5K are similar to those of the Vector, it boasts a higher per bullet damage, but a lower overall firing rate and DPS. This SMG also has a higher magazine capacity than the Vector, starting at 30 rounds and going to 40 extended. It accommodates all attachment slots to allow for a tactical stock, different types of magazines, muzzle attachments, grips, the laser sight, and of course scopes, and it has single, burst, and auto fire. And while we're talking about weapons, we might as well go into the balance changes that have been made for some of the current weapons in the game. The M16 is seeing a buff overall. When firing burst mode, the initial recoil has been decreased, so it's easier to control. They also increase the range before damage fall-off occurs, making it a more budget-friendly DMR type weapon. And canted sights and the tactical stock can now be attached to the M16. The tactical stock will decrease recoil, recovery time, animation kick, and weapon sway, while also improving ADS speed and hipfire accuracy. So like I said, it's a general buff to the M16, just making it a more viable weapon. The MK47 Mutant can also take attack stock, and it will carry all those same benefits that I mentioned with the M16. Now let's talk about the Vector. As I said before, the Vector has been removed from Vikendi with this PTS patch, and it will be going live to the live servers a week later. But that's not the only change. The Vector has been rechambered to use 9mm ammunition. The magazine capacity has been increased to 19 bullets by default and 33 with an extended mag. Before it was 13 and 25, but the damage has been decreased from 34 to 31 due to the changes in the magazine capacity. And they also increased the muzzle velocity. So that might seem like we have an abundance of 9mm SMGs now, and that's the case. So what they did was they changed the UMP9. The UMP9 is now the UMP45, and it takes 45 ACP ammo. The magazine capacity has been adjusted to 25 bullets by default and 35 with an extended. Previously it was 30 and 40, and they changed the gunshot sounds to accommodate for this, and the muzzle velocity has been decreased. Apparently the UMP45 is a much lesser version than the UMP9. Wacky Jackie had a video on it a couple weeks back just saying how bad the UMP45 was compared to other SMGs now, so that's kind of a shame because it was definitely one of my favorite SMGs that I could play with. But we'll just have to see for ourselves on the PTS, get a hold of it, try it out, and see how it works. There's also been some attachment balance modifications. SMG and pistol attachments have been combined and can now be used on both weapon types. Bullet loops for shotguns, Win94, and Kar 98Ks have been combined into one item called ammo loops. Hollow sights can now be attached to pistols. When equipped to pistols, the size of the sight will be reduced to fit more appropriately. It does look kind of funny on there as it doesn't fit like a red dot does on a pistol, but now we have that option of attaching a red dot or a hollow to a pistol. There's also some hit area damage multiplier changes. They increased the sniper rifle body shot damage from 110% of base damage to 150% of base damage. and they increased the SMG limb shot damage from 120% to a base damage of 125%. This is big for sniper rifles especially, 150% instead of 110. It's going to make a huge difference when hitting those body shots with the Kar 98, the M24, and the AUM. And to wrap up the weapons segment, let's talk about the gameplay balance changes. They decreased the overall aim punch, or aim sway, that's applied when being shot by an enemy. So you have a guy lined up in your sights, you get shot, and then all of a sudden your aim is way off. This has been decreased. First aid kits will no longer heal to 75 health instantly, and will instead restore health over a 2-second period. So that health will slowly tick up over a 2-second period to the 75 health once you use that first aid, instead of just automatically getting you to 75. This change definitely could come into play when you're in a tight, close quarters combat situation where you need that health. Now it's going to take 2 seconds, and your enemy has that same disadvantage, so you know if he's going to heal, he's not going to be full 75 as soon as he gets that first aid off, so it gives you more time to finish him off. Alright, and before we get to my favorite part of this update, let's go ahead and talk about Survivor Pass 3 Wildcard. Survivor Pass 3 Wildcard is not available on the PTS, but will be available when the update number 7 hits the live servers on May 28th. And I'll have more information on that when the live servers get that update, but just know that it's going to cost $10 just like the other Survivor Passes did. And it's going to have 60 levels to obtain with different missions and things like that, and it's all going to be over a 10-week period. Also starting on May 28th is the Survival Title System Season 2. Again, this is not going to be on the PTS, but it's just letting us know that the Survival Title System Season 2 will be available when this update hits the live servers on May 28th. Season 1 of the Survival Title System will actually end on May 21st at midnight Pacific Time, 3 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, now on to the best part of this patch, the item spawn balance modification for Erangel. The overall item spawn rates for Erangel have been increased. Additionally, we've increased the spawn rates of some major weapon classes, they say. They increased the spawn rate of the ARs by 12%, DMRs by 16%, and SMGs by 14%. Sniper rifles and handguns received a slight spawn rate increase as well. Now, I certainly don't think handguns needed an increase on Erangel, but all these other things definitely did, so it's really good to see these changes as they're trying to make Erangel even more fun to play. Due to item changes this patch, including merging some attachments together, there's naturally a gap left in spawns which need to be filled with other items. Because of this, we have increased the spawn rate of other items evenly. This will also result in a small increase in spawns of high priority items such as ARs, meds, etc. This also means the overall loot for other maps has also increased slightly, although no changes have been made to individual item spawn ratios on other maps like Erangel. But like I said, this is definitely the most important thing in my opinion for this patch, getting the Erangel loot up to speed with some of the other maps, so it's more fun to play, especially in the very beginning of the game. How many times have you dropped at a hot drop location and found absolutely nothing but a pistol, if that? The guns definitely needed a boost on Erangel, so I'm really happy that we're getting it. They've also improved the crosshair UI for canted sights and scopes. They added a new crosshair when using the canted sight to help players easily identify which scopes they have equipped. And they have an example picture here. When you're using the main scope, you will see the standard crosshair, with an X-shaped crosshair when using the canted sight. They've also added movement rustling sounds. As far as weapons go, separate rustle sounds now play when equipping weapons in your hands versus holstering them on your back. Identical rustling sounds will be played regardless of weapon type. Sidearms, melee weapons, and throwables do not make rustling sounds. The audible distance and volume of the rustling sound changes dramatically based on the character's movement speed as well. The faster you move, the louder the noise, which can then be heard from further away. There's some UI and user experience changes. In-game lobby background and background music has been changed. I really like the background music that they currently have for the Vikendi background, so hopefully this one's pretty good as well. The system menu UI, which can be accessed by pressing the start button, has been redesigned. And there's been a change to the emotes customization UI, which has been redesigned as well. You can customize your emotes in the emotes tab within the customization menu. The maximum number of emotes you can use in-game has been changed from 12 down to 8. And here we go with some awesome performance changes, hopefully, for this PTS patch that will be going to the live servers a week later. They optimized level streaming and improved the loading speed of buildings by 30 to 40%. They did this by material data structure being optimized. Streaming priority has been optimized based on the prediction of the player's movement direction, and the level LOD data has been optimized as well. And finally, hitching, which occurs when texture streams, has been optimized. I'm going to play the PTS without my SSD and just see how it goes, see how the level streaming actually is, play a lot of Vikendi, and see how the buildings are loading in. Hopefully we do see an increase. They're promising 30 to 40%, so hopefully that makes a big difference for you guys. And I think there's 27 or so bugs that are being fixed. I'm not going to go through every single one, but I will pick out a couple here that I think are important. They fixed an issue where players were able to open or close doors despite a vehicle blocking it. They also fixed an issue where players were briefly able to see through a thin wall when leaning against it. They fixed an issue where players with poor network connectivity took no damage when exiting moving vehicles. They fixed the issue where the canted sight increased ADS speed of other scopes attached. So if you had a 4x scope, it would have that ADS speed increase that the canted sight gives you just by default. And the last one I'll cover here, they fixed an issue where items get stuck on the floor and are unable to be picked up in certain locations. But that's going to do it for the PTS patch notes. Like I said, this is going live May 20th at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern. And I'm really excited to give this a try, play on the public test server, give my feedback if there is any feedback, and hopefully see these improvements that they talk about. I want to test out Erangel quite a bit, and I think Erangel is going to be the priority map once this thing goes live. So we'll be able to test this out for a week on the PTS, and then it will be pushed to the live servers where we should get all these changes to the live servers so everyone can enjoy it. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you excited for these changes? Which one do you think is the most important for this PTS patch? Remember to follow me on Twitter and join my Discord. Those links are in the description below. And if you're looking for a new gaming headset, a new pair of headphones, I just became affiliated with Massdrop, and I have an affiliate link below in the description for the PC37X headphones that they have there. And they're actually sending me a pair to review on my channel. So I'm really excited for that opportunity. I want to try them out, tell you guys what I think. But if you're in the market for a new headset, these are supposed to be really good. The PC37X from Massdrop, definitely check it out in the description below. Remember to like the video if you found it useful and subscribe to stay up to date on everything that I publish. But with all that being said, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Until next time, I'll see you later.